Hello everyone, my name is Ryan and today we will be looking at Stillwell County. Stillwell County is a City Skylines map that I made where instead of doing one city, you kind of make it as a very large county like aspect like in the United States, and you have different districts into multiple cities. So that is what I kind of did here. I've done this a lot, but this is probably the most in-depth county idea I've done. So we're gonna kind of go over a few things such as the geography and the county idea itself, infrastructure along with highways and roads, some changes that were good in the beginning but were then bad in the later, and then also water and power within this county aspect. We're gonna go with some districts and cities that we created within the county, zoning within each district, and as well we're gonna talk about the industrial and office, as long as with a cargo hub, which is kind of causing some issues within the county that we'll get into later, and public transport and kind of whatever else we come running across. So this may be a little bit lengthy of a video because I got a lot of things to talk about. Been working for a few weeks on this in my spare time, and so that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So we're going to start off with the map itself. The geography of this area is pretty flat, but not exactly a flat land. It does have some hills and stuff, as you can see in um, other parts of the county. You can see how we start going into a incline from here. A lot of this was pretty flat, which is the centerpiece of the county itself. But otherwise, geography-wise, we do have some rivers. As you can see from the compass up here in the top left, north, south, east, and west. We do have some waterways going through some rivers, but that's pretty much it for geography. And the county idea was originally it was just this part was bought, but we went ahead and expanded a little bit more to give some room. And then the county idea is the city of Sheffield is the county seat. Um, that's why it kind of has pretty much the most population. Also, it has the big city hall here. Originally, this was like a state capitol looking thing, but I replaced it with a city hall because it just fit a little bit more for the size of the city. We'll go ahead and toggle on some districts here so you can kind of see what they're looking like. The city of Sheffield keeps on growing more and more to the west, which this is west. We'll go ahead and line it up north, east, south, and west. Um, the city keeps on growing to the west. Oh, I need to zone this as part of it because we just made an expansion. But pretty much, this was included in it, but I'm kind of working on what I want to do with this island here, and we're probably gonna make 2 or 3 videos out of this entire county. This is kind of like a near the end update with Stillwell County. Um, so these are the cities right here. We have Sheffield, and then we have a city of Thornton. Currently, we only have 2 cities, and all the residents are incorporated except for these right here. There are some residents here, and then we have highways the um, throughout the county. I-70 splits the county pretty much down the middle, and that is the border of Thornton and Sheffield. I don't know how to say that exactly. That was game generated, and I kind of like it, and I kept it. So I'm not sure if I'm even saying it right. But I-70 is the border between the 2 cities here, and then we do build a expansion down here for the Belmont Enterprise Center, which is industry. Um, and then we have the Power and Light District, which is a lot of touristic centers, stadiums, and all that. But pretty much the highways, we do have pretty good junctions here that keep everything flowing, and we do have optional on and off ramps throughout the city just to kind of offload some main drags so citizens can just hop on and off the highway and the surface streets compared to doing main drags and bottlenecking up interchanges here. But otherwise, we do have this highway system that does go and it includes Thornton. So Thornton is kind of limited within this little bubble here of highways, unless we do jump the highway and keep on zoning it as Thornton. But if we do go more north, I mean, if we do go more north of the highway system, which is up here, it would most likely be a different city. So we'll be most likely doing our third edition of the city, besides Thornton, because Thornton will kind of just stay in this little highway bubble here. Um, but otherwise, originally the highway system was just all based off of this one I-70. We added these 4 interchanges, and then the need for this expansion on the 4th interchange was needed to go into the west side, which is the west entry toll that we have here, um, just to offload it, because really the only way into the city was all through this interchange, which this interchange does do pretty good on high volume, but you do have traffic lights, 2 traffic lights, and you do also have it terminating at the city hall, which was bottlenecking a lot because you have all the cars coming in here off to these 2 points and this third point, and it wasn't feasible, and we had a lot of growth and expansion over here, so this west entry was needed, which is works out pretty good. This city would continue growing over here on this side. It's going to be our county seat, so most likely the growth pattern will be right here in this matter. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of the roads and the highways. We'll quick switch over to power and water. Um, for our water situation, we do have every city interconnected into the county water. Um, we do have a little unclet set up over here, kind of as a, which is a little expansion. Not sure exactly, but mainly our centralized system is here. Our centralized system is a water pump, actually 2 large water pumps. We just recently added the second one, and we do have a whole bunch of water towers for supply and demand, and then we do have a whole bunch of processing. Each one processes about 172,000 um, cubic meters per week, and the water does bring in about 3,200,000 cubic meters a week as well, and we got 2 of those. And the water towers bring in 64,000 cubic meters a week. That is not our only source. Even though this is the main source, we do have some water and sewage spread out due to pump capacities. I don't know if you know this about the game, but because we're doing it such a long stretch throughout the county, you do need to place some sewage and sometimes some water throughout the county, because the pumps are just, sewage doesn't get pumped back. It's just too far. So we do have a sewage sludge tank getting processed here in the industry area. We also got one on the corner of that industry area, which helps out with all of this tourist activity here. We do have some water towers thrown on this water line here just to provide, because again, this is a very large expansion here with a lot of tourism coming in. And then within Thornton itself, Thornton only has 2 sewage plants, which kind of helps out with the western expansion of the city here. And that's pretty much it for the water. Again, this is just a random add-on here to, you can kind of see it's actually pumping pretty good. Earlier, a few weeks ago, this was not pumping at all. This was dry, but it looks like it is getting used a lot right now. For power, we do have a realistic, somewhat system to where huge power lines were ran in the beginning of the development, and then they were slowly cut back while developments were being expanded. So we do have Stillwell County Power, which is our only power source right now, and it's besides garbage incinerators throughout this industrial area. But this is our only power source, is the Stillwell County Power nuclear power plant, and it does provide a lot of electricity, but as you can see, we're slow. Oh, we're bumping back up because I think they're burning trash. But yeah, so they all those garbage trucks just to the left, so they're burning some trash. So it fluctuates with these incinerators also. So I just kind of clip these in there just to kind of be lazy about it and clip it in there and make it look integrated. But we do have this main power grid or main power lines going here, and then again, this is all original development right here. So this is all original day one development. It then splits off left and right, as well as continues down, which it continues. It did go through the park, but I kind of brought this back, and we circled it around this way, which then cuts through here, comes back around the park, and then this is where it kind of cuts through the residential zone, and we kind of just made a walkway through it, which a lot of people use it. A thing to mention is making crosswalks so that this walkway is actually a walkway, and we added traffic lights on some major roads like right here, so pedestrians and vehicle traffic can take turns. So back to the power part is where we got to go into this large shopping district over here, which we have a whole bunch of Dillard's, Ocean City malls, and huge downtown parking area. And so we got power going there because it's a huge demand. But then this main line right here goes all the way, and we run it as two conductive lines to help during thunderstorms, because thunderstorms are prone on this map, and so some lines do get broken when they're struck by lightning, and we keep everything running by on another system. But anyways, power runs into there, into the power and light area, and then as well we have these two broken into Thornton, and that's pretty much it. Because Belmont gets the same power from the same spot. We do have underground power that kind of bridges, so we underground barrel power there. Same thing here. We did have some developments here, but they were removed due to natural resource issues. And we do have a Stillwell cargo hub. So the cargo hub is very busy, which I believe is the source of the problems with this right here. There's not enough raw materials, but then look, there's not enough buyers for the products. This should be going directly into here, but they're not, because I think they're just constantly exporting it. So that's kind of a problem, and you just got a whole industrial problem here. Pretty sure if I delete this cargo hub, all this will be fixed, but we're kind of just leaving it. We do charge a toll when you do leave, so I think it's like $4, yeah. So, but anyways, so very busy. Originally this was synchronized here, but we have it as a bypass for all this build up to build. So that's the cargo hub. The zoning in each district we'll kind of get into. For Thornton, you have City Hall right here for the city of Thornton, as well as a huge park. And then you have all of this commercial zoning over here. As well, you have commercial outlining on these odd spots going here. And of course, Thornton Parkway. This is Thornton Parkway, by the way. It's a huge, I believe, 6-lane. No, it's a 4-lane with a suicide down the middle. So we have that with some office development, residentials, and some event centers and hotels here near the highway. That kind of brings the two cities together. And then, again, all residential. We do have a casino here, the Pink Casino. It's a big double building structure, and then we have underground parking in the middle, which looks really good put together. And as well as this a hospital. What's this? I forget. Oh, it's Creative Arts. And then originally the part of the road infrastructure here. Originally this road right here turned with this road parallel, and it was terminated here. Same thing as you see over here. So originally we had this huge loop right here, which fed all this. But what in time happened was this became so expanded that everyone's taking a left and a left. We just went ahead and barreled under the residential area and cut straight into here. And this is the outlet tunnel, which goes right or left or straight, whichever way you choose. But the way to get back on the highway is through this bypass lane and straight away here or left from there. Same thing we did over here. This was the first tunnel in the county, which was right here. So originally we had a traditional North American overpass where you had 2 on ramps, 2 off ramps. You just had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the overpass. And it was just a lot of left-hand turning traffic that was backing up onto the highway. So what we did was we went. Wow, that's a lot of noise. We barreled under the highway here, and we went ahead and continued to barrel under the highway until we got to here. It seems like a lot of the traffic did not need to be right here on this strip right here. Instead, they really wanted to be on this road right here, and they all diversified into these residential areas. So this is the tunnel from the highway. Works out pretty well. All these homes had to get torn down, so we went ahead and threw high residential in the new development, and they've upgraded and grown in pretty nicely. Same thing with the what is this? Westbound, right here. All the highways are named I-70 westbound traffic. Taking that right into Thornton, we went ahead and tied into the same tunnel. So you have eastbound and westbound I-70 is going into the same tunnel. So that's all that traffic right there. But otherwise, we do have the on-ramp here and on-ramp here remains. You do have to cross the bridge to get on, but it's kind of sacrificed for that. As you notice on I-70, we do have a lot of bridges that go and connect the cities together, such as when you're heading on westbound traffic. Right here, you take this long bypass right here, and it connects into a residential area. This really makes it to where these big interchanges here, there's only 2 of them between Thornton and the Sheffield. They get really bogged down, and so what we do is we create these overpasses that just strictly connect the towns together, such as here. This connects the 2 cities together. Look how much pedestrian traffic you're getting. You constantly have so many cyclists, pedestrians, all these people traveling on there. And what we did is we skipped a block inwards just to make it a little bit easier on a grade. And look how much traffic you have, pedestrian traffic and vehicle traffic between the 2 cities. You can really see it within this right here on how many people rely on this singular overpass. Again, this is just it's no on or off onto the highway. This is just strictly a connection between 2 cities. You can see there's a lot of people, cyclists and pedestrians walking from here to there. It's just a lot of inner connections on that single overpass. Same thing here, you have Reed Bridge, which Reed Bridge has even more connections because, again, it's a little bit bigger. It's a 4-lane with a suicide down the middle, and it is a pretty big main drag between the 2 cities. You see this suicide lane goes all the way down here. So it's a pretty good main drag. Oh, thing to mention, after the entry toll here on the west side of Sheffield, we did have a little bit of a trying to spread out the termination of this highway, because eventually this termination may go more westwards, and residential may take this up. So what we did was we terminated it by going right only traffic here, left turning traffic only here, and continuation traffic goes here into the shopping center, or only turning left, because again, you can turn left or right up here. So this is strictly turning left to continue down the main street or to go into the shopping center here. So that's kind of what this termination of the highway here. Otherwise, same thing takes it up where you have traffic going here and here onto there, or you can continue straight from here, take a left here to get back onto the highway. And that's pretty much it. And then you just have a load suppression of trying to have, instead of people go all the way down here and route back, you can just have some people go off into the residentials here. That's pretty much it for the highways, besides some I can talk about over here. This is a disaster of trying to mitigate traffic, and traffic just keeps on getting worse, and it's gotten to the point to where I kind of just want to delete this whole residential area or this whole industrial area, let it get rehabilitated into some clean ground, and build another city there. Because there's just too much truck traffic. It's just too much industry is close together, and they're producing too many goods. But pretty much what you have is you have the highways in and out. You have some surface street access here, and then you take a lower bypass to go into this system here. Now to get back on the highway, you take an overpass here, and then take another overpass up here, and you're at this interchange, which then you can go all the way straight onto this highway system, or you loop around and you have a dedicated lane to get back on to either go straight or Cloverleaf to Power and Light or whatever. Pretty much a lot of people take this stuff because they're trying to go to the cargo hub, which then goes all the way down here and all that mess. So, but anyways, so we'll get back to this road system here. So you do have an option to get off here and go left or straight to then access this area or to access this area. Same thing here with the right. And then you got exit ramp here. You got exit ramp here going into this area here. I try to zone them out pretty well. And then same thing here where you come here and you have a 2-lane exit that then brings you into one onto this surface area and one onto this surface area. Same thing with a 2-lane on ramp here with the suicide lane. Try to get the suicide lane working properly, which it looks like it is because people are using this lane and then here, but then people will go over here and turn there. A lot of rambling about traffic lanes and all that, but that's what I like about this game is the details about this. You have some statues around to kind of make it look good. If I do end up deleting this and making this no longer industrial complex but more of a residential, statues and parks would still remain because theoretically it's history, you know what I mean? You would keep it in real life. But yeah. So Belmont Enterprise is pretty much a disaster. If we go to the high traffic monitoring, you can see everything looks pretty good besides a few interchanges. Even though this is red, they're all moving. There's no standstill. This is just a naturally made disaster because it's a 6-way interchange. But over here, it's just 1 lanes and 2 lanes, and I guess you could increase these to 4-lane roads, but then you're still running into the problem to where everything gets rezoned and you still cascades to you. But otherwise, if you bypass all that, you run into this Garnet Estates, which is farmland. Thing to mention on this I should have mentioned earlier was this is farmland. Originally I had it over here, but when I placed all these trees right here, it took away the natural resource I did not realize. So I had to move all these buildings from here to here, which ended up making this a launch site. So yeah. So the last little industrial complex, which didn't really get off like I wanted to, but I could probably expand it, is if I do delete all these industries over here, hopefully all these errors go away for balancing out. Which it's really stupid because if you look right here, it says high demand for industry or offices, but there's not enough buyers for the projects and raw materials. It's one of those things where I really feel like this export and imports are really messing up a lot of things, but we'll deal with that later. The initial idea is to have 2 highways going past left and right, and then you have these interchanges, which are left-hand driving for on and off. So you can see how people come here and they turn here to either go right or left. Same thing to get on. There's no cross traffic here. 2 lanes off, 2 lanes on, 3 lanes bypassing. So it works really well. Especially over here, it's not as involved, but this one does have split lanes going left and right. There's no traffic lights as well. It works really well. Traffic says it's red, but as you can tell, there is no red traffic. All the cars are moving. So it works really well for traffic, but again, it was then supposed to replicate on the same side here, and this was supposed to be replicated on the same side, and then this was supposed to be a very explosive industry area, which again may delete that, and that will leave some more room here, which then interchange with this area. So yeah, Otherwise, we are, let me see on my list, we are at public transport area. So for public transport, it's a little bit of a mess. Um, I need to be more logistical about some of my public transport, especially with additions. Originally, when I created the first public transport line in here was this area. None of this is public transport, which I still need to work on, which in the next video, which may be the last video of this county itself, that will be solved. But for bus lines, we do have about 10 lines, or 8 lines, I mean. Um, there is a central bus depot here, which could be bigger, but it was size constricted on this little enclave here. Oh, thing to mention, one of the districts is called Corporate Woods. Corporate Woods is a office complex, and so pretty much these are all offices. There are parking garages as well for all these offices, and pretty much that's it. These are just offices, high-end companies. You know, you got big office building. You got iServe Ltd. You just have all these companies here in this little um, area. There's no policy in here, but there is commercial in here. As you can see, there is some commercial in there. Other thing to mention, I should have also mentioned, is we're at 104,000 on this county. We can look right here. There's about half of that is within this one singular city here, with the majority being residential. And then if we go down to Thornton, Thornton itself has some offices with 36,000. So, which begs to differ where the other 20,000 people are at. Could they be over here? I guess 20,000 people could get. What does lower condos have? 410. Interesting. There could be 20,000 people here. I'm not sure. But yes, we're at 100,000 people. Our weekly income is just shy around 50 grand, and it goes up and down. I used to have it up to 90 grand before I got super big with transport. But Corporate Woods is right next to the central bus depot, which a lot of people use. With that, we have 2 monorail stops. These 2 monorail stops is, one of them is for, forget which one's on which. Let me see. So we have oh, it's the red one. So the red one goes here because it was in high demand, so it's on its own stop. And then the county loop and the other 2 are on there. So pretty much what our monorail setups are is we have a county loop that goes from damn, that goes from these 2 right here, then goes to these 2 as well. County loop is on their own here because county loop is on a high demand over here, which then goes to this industrial area here. So pretty much we have the blue line, which the blue line goes all the way around here by the power and light, and it goes to the central depot. So blue's industry. Thornton is a certain color, which is not showing up, but there is a Thornton right here has their own. Whoa, we can throw it around. Oh yeah, it goes up here. Okay. Yeah, so Thornton's right here. I'm pretty sure Thornton has their own color here, but it's not showing up. It's only showing up as yellow. Look for another color that's on the line. They may only have county loop because I integrated it in there, but green goes from there to the central. So you have green line, blue line, and then county loop does all the stops together. And then for bus routes, we have a lot. We have 1,600 passengers per week, which is double our monorail. I could probably get more people on the bus routes. Thornton is well put together because Thornton has a lot of zigzag through these developments, but again, never did developments through here. We do have a bus stop here, which, as you can tell, has a lot of people. So we have crosswalks here again with the stoplights. Very good idea. You guys should try that. But keep in mind, we also do have a lot of pedestrian pathways I've built to avoid unnecessary stops at stoplights as well. Look at all these people taking these walkways here to avoid congestion and speed up things. Cyclists like to speed up on those as well. But we have the bus depot right next to the Hodgin Collidor. I forget how you say it. Right next to the monorail as well, and the public library right behind City Hall. All in all, I feel like Thornton's really well put together. Thornton was my second expansion, as you can see, because I built all this, and I started building down here, and then I jumped the highway and started making the grid formula here with these highways. It really worked out really well. Thornton's really well put together. Um, I really feel like I really try to integrate cities, because usually when you make a county aspect, cities get to be split up, and even though it's split up by a highway, it's still connected by road surface streets that go over the highway or go under it. So I feel like I did a really good job on that. You know, I could even bring this one over here into there. Stuff like that would really diversify and make it not look so split up. But yeah. So public transport again. Keep on piggyback on this, but it's really hard for me to explain because I haven't really messed with it that much. There's a lot of no bus lines over here, which is a problem. But we do have our peach line that goes all over the place here. One thing I do want to talk about is this railroad line that did used to go through here, and this used to be the train hub. We ripped up the train hub and turned it into the Power and Light District, because when we opened up the cargo hub took all the train traffic, so we ended up undergrounding the train tracks here and there under the highways. So train tracks went here and goes all the way around there. It makes this entire line from here, where this park is at, made all of this train tracks right here going through the city useless now. No trains go on it. So my idea is to do what people do in real life, is tear up the train tracks and make it a pedestrian and cyclist pathway, and it would go all the way through the city, and pretty much all that train track right there would get replaced and would tie into that right there. So it would tie into this, and it'll probably go all the way down to Power and Light District right there. So you would have a huge pedestrian pathway, bicyclist path from Power and Light all the way to the termination of at the park right here by the shopping district, which is pretty cool. You can also probably do a tram line if you really want to connect the two districts together, but kind of thinking about going green type of aspect, ripping up the old train infrastructure and putting in the foot traffic and bicycle traffic. So that's where I'm at right now with that. I don't have anything else on my list to talk about. We do have the Papal University here, which I've not done anything with. Again, this whole enclave here has the basics, and I do want to kind of build this out, maybe as its own little city, including right here on this side of the tracks, but haven't gotten there yet. I don't know how big I'm gonna get. This, to me at least, this game seems a little choppy now at 100,000, but my computer says it's not struggling though, so I just feel like just the frames are dropping. But don't know what I want to do next. Again, I want to expand this. The idea is to expand this right here to the monorail and all the way down to the highway. So Thornton is completely within this whole circular highway system. So that would be the maxed population of Thornton, or at least expansion. And then again, try to do another city here where Belmont is at. Get all that land rehabilitated. Because again, the land is going to be somewhat polluted, as you can tell. So as you see, there's no pollution anywhere up in these cities except down in the industrial areas. So would really like to get all that land rehabilitated and made into a city. We have the great road system set up for it, but that may be overkill for a residential area. Not really sure. I spent a lot of time figuring out this road system here. So what I'm going to probably end up doing is deleting all the industry, making this all the way down to the river and down to the tracks, and then over to the tracks here. Tracks would be the borders, kind of. So that'd be a pretty good sized city. It'd be as big as Thornton, pretty much, and it kind of traffic can loop around that way. So that's kind of where I'm at. So we're gonna end it here. It's been a pretty good 35-minute session of explaining this to you guys. So kind of random video. I used to stream a lot of Twitch, but I have not streamed really that much at all within the last few years. So where I'm at now is at this point I'm just playing this game for fun, having fun, and just kind of want to put a video up on YouTube about the city and county that I'm making. And when I do get done with Stillwell County, I am going to start from scratch a brand new county aspect again, and that aspect will be fully documented by recording sessions. So I would do time-lapse buildings of making the infrastructure and all that. So yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan to next city and county I make will be all recorded and time-lapse, and make 30 plus videos out of it, hopefully, and build it the same way, kind of. So that's where I'm at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you guys for the support. Catch you guys later.